Radio KAir.
Visit us on the web
at www.radiokair.com.
Today on East Montgomery County Chamber Calendar Update, Check-In, whatever you want to call it, we're pleased to have the president of the East Montgomery County Chamber, Mr. Mark Linabury, back on our monthly update, I guess it would be.
Yeah, a monthly update, and because it's December, Bob,
right?
I'd love to use this time to really just kind of do a quick year in review for the chamber, because wow, 2020, what a great year, huh?
What, did you fall and hit your head or something? Well,
who wants to relive the moments of 2020?
I was going to say, the good thing is it's almost over.
It's almost over.
It's almost over. So, gosh, we're so lucky that it's almost over.
It's almost over, yeah.
Yeah. It has been a year of trials, and every time I tell my wife, Linda, that, we're almost at the end. What else could happen? Surely nothing else. Something else happens.
Don't tempt that, yeah.
So here we are. Towards the end of December, a little bit before Christmas, and we are looking forward to 2021. They've started, I think yesterday, they started the vaccinations for the COVID. We are definitely seeing a surge right now. The good thing is, excuse me, we've had millions of people that have had it, and so herd immunity seems to be right around the corner. So hopefully in 2021 we'll see a change where maybe by summer we don't have to wear our masks and all that stuff. But right now, here we are.
That's right. I'm hopeful too.
Me too.
I am definitely hopeful. We as a chamber, like everyone else, had our challenges.
Absolutely.
For 2020. But, it's actually been a successful year for this chamber, and very excited about that. So, it started off, January's we don't do our monthly luncheon, but we do our other events, like we now call them in-person events. We never had to call them that before.
The new normal, right?
Yeah, you have to show the difference between in-person and virtual events. But We've always had a Thirsty Thursday, which we would travel around our member restaurants and have an after hours, kind of a laid back networking event. We did our very first new member networking after hours at the Clubs of Kingwood.
That's correct.
Yeah, it kicked off the year in a dramatic,
that was wonderful,
classy, fun way. We got to meet a lot of the new membership, and the Clubs of Kingwood did an amazing job of hosting that for us.
They really did.
So that was good. So we had our Thirsty Thursday, that event, our Breakfast Connections, which is always so graciously hosted by
HCA
HCA Houston Healthcare Kingwood.
Right.
And they provide breakfast. We went from normally having an average of 20 people at that event to pushing 60. At those breakfasts.
We were filling it up. It was nice. That was nice. So a lot of great people.
That's how January kicked off for us. And so then we went into February, where we had our very first monthly luncheon, one of our signature events.
Right.
People love our monthly luncheons. And
I know we do.
Yeah, we all miss them. And that was the first of the year. And I want to say that was our legacy luncheon, because Dr. Catherine Pearson of Lone Star College Kingwood had announced her retirement, and we wanted the opportunity for her to just address everybody, let us know what she's accomplished, which has been so much. I can't believe we fit it all into one lunch, but it was one of the better attended lunches, and they're already well attended, because those started seeing an average of 150 people per luncheon.
Right. There were some changes made in the way the luncheons were done, which was very positive and a very good a good thing for the people that supplied the food.
Yeah.
So it worked out real well.
Well, it's a luncheon. Why not make it about the lunch?
Sure.
The food.
Sure.
And so we came up with a great concept called our featured caterer program, and turned the luncheon around a little bit. So it wasn't just you're going to get some food with your program. It's like you're going to get some food,
Some good food. I mean, they were serving appetizers.
yeah,
and
passing
all kinds of-
appetizers at the
Wow.
beginning. So it was an opportunity for our restaurants and caterers that are part of our membership to really show off, and for reason. Because what do we do as a Chamber of Commerce? We're trying to connect people and create more commerce,
Right.
create more business. So it was their taste of the town without any competition.
Yeah.
It was their opportunity to earn your respect, earn your business for your future events.
So they get to showcase their business.
Right.
That's wonderful.
And
Yeah.
and it worked. People were getting hired for catering events just from those lunches. So it was a very successful program that we can't wait to bring back. But that's
Yeah,
how February kicked off, and with our normal events of welcoming new members,
Right.
welcoming back, renewing members, our Thirsty Thursdays, Breakfast Connections, and doing all things. And our Soul Sessions kicked off for the year,
Sure did.
which was a brand new program for the small business owner, part of our education component of our chamber. And so Stander and Company,
Right down the street.
right
here.
down the street over here, is Nicholas Stander and his crew
Right.
were the presenting sponsors. But not only the presenting sponsors, they helped facilitate the whole mechanism.
Right.
And it turned out the vision was to have a workshop lunch, a roundtable discussion with business owners about challenges, things that they'd like to work on that they're just not quite sure. It might not be their core competency.
Right.
But we as small business owners tend to do everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a great
Yeah.
a great concept to make sure that they were getting help with that too
Right.
within the chamber. And so that kicked it off this year. And it was very successful in terms of what was being learned,
Right.
what was coming out of that, and what was developing through that program. And we have that at Hofbrau Steakhouse over on
Right.
1314. Thanks to James over there, he's been very gracious,
Great guy.
allowing us
Yep.
to have that event there.
All right. So that took us into.
Yeah, that's
February.
And things start to
Then-
change.
Yeah. So March happened, and as everyone knows, the world changed.
It was changing.
It was changing at that point.
It
yeah,
was
a little
changing
bit,
at
right.
that point for us. We knew
Right.
something was happening, something good, not good,
Right.
was happening. We had our luncheon, which is the first Wednesday of the month,
Right.
and we knew something was happening, and we needed to address what was happening. So,
And I think
fortunately, Kingwood Emergency Hospital was the presenting sponsor
Right.
for that lunch already. And so I got to speak with Claire King and said, do you think you could provide our keynote speaker for our luncheon to talk about this?
Right.
And boy, did we.
Yeah.
So we were, I would like to say, ahead of what was right around the corner.
Right around. That was just days away before they started.
We were
that.
much more educated because of that luncheon,
Right.
and because of the content discussed than we would have been, because there's so many unknowns, and what we learned through this whole process, that unknown carried on for months and months
Sure.
because it was just a moving target, a fluid information.
The dynamics were horrible.
The dynamics, yeah. So, not to turn a whole show into that, but
Right.
I was just very thankful we had the opportunity to even have that luncheon
Yeah,
because
the timing was perfect.
it
on
made a
that.
difference
Right.
for a lot of people.
Yep. Yep. So that was March, but let's go back a little bit. I think in February we had another great event. We had the casino night.
The end of February. It was actually my wedding anniversary that night, and
Really?
Marie was thrilled that I chose that night to have our annual casino night for the Chamber of Commerce. And
Somebody must have forgot the
yeah,
night.
oops.
Yeah.
And but it turned out to be our most successful casino night ever. And not just financially for the chamber, but turnout and the energy was so amazing.
It really was.
Of that night. So it was very successful, and we're going to be bringing it back in 2021 with
Good.
a mask parade event.
Ooh, yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. So look forward to that. That will be the latter part of February,
right.
as well. We found an alternative venue that we'll be looking at, but that's looking forward.
Absolutely.
But we are looking forward as a chamber. We are still making things happen through all this.
I always look forward to the casino night because it's the only night I get to wear my tuxedo, right? And you don't have to wear a tuxedo, but I go as James Bond, I think it is, or something like that. The older James. I'm like the fat Elvis, right, with James Bond. That's what I am. So
don't let your winnings have anything to do with the title.
Absolutely not, right? Yeah. All right, so that was casino night. It is coming back in February. Not going to give a whole lot of information yet, but that's going to get a little cliffhanger, so we can figure that out. The Breakfast Connection, we're hoping.
Well, let's talk about March.
Okay.
Because
we still have 9 months to go.
We still got a little while to go for our year in review.
Right.
In the fast forward mode.
Right.
Because literally we could do a couple hours of what was accomplished throughout this year. But what was accomplished, March we didn't know what to do. Everything stopped. Basically, all of our in-person events stopped. Being able to go to the office stopped. Everything stopped. But fortunately, technology was there to connect us, something we're all very familiar with now. But it was very interesting at the beginning of that, getting people to adapt and participate and take advantage of something that was uncomfortable because they didn't necessarily know how to do it.
Right.
So there was a lot of kicking and screaming along the way. I don't want to do that. I was
one of them. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But now look at you.
We learned how to do Zoom. We learned how to. There's so many things we learned that really has kind of become the new norm, right?
Well, it's another tool in our toolbox that's available that we're comfortable with now.
Right.
Nobody likes new technology when it first comes out. Because you don't know how to use it,
right?
And it's uncomfortable. And you're when a new update comes to whatever operating system you're using or your word processing program, you're like, I like the old one.
He's talking about me right now. I've been going through this. It's all right.
To hurt your feelings. You're so sensitive.
I know, right? When I can't get this stuff to work, it's terrible.
And so we shifted to. We started doing some connecting, but more importantly, a lot of federal programs started coming down to help small businesses. And through the EIDL loans and the PPP programs, these were all new things and terms and programs that nobody knew if it applied to them or should they.
Right, grants or loans or what is it?
Take advantage of it. What do you do? So we took the talent within our membership and put it into play as quick as we could to explain these programs and connect them. And it made a difference for a lot of people because they understood it that much more.
Right.
We weren't the only ones doing that. There were everyone across the country. That was the power of a chamber of commerce at that time.
But we had more talent.
Well, yeah, let's just say yes. But it was very helpful.
Right.
I'm glad we were able to do it, and we got through that informative process of people finally understood, and you could only do so many of those, and then it was really more about how do we support the businesses now,
right?
And now stimulus checks people were starting to receive. How do we encourage them to use that money for what its true intended purpose was, which might have been to help fill a gap for you personally, but if your economic situation hadn't changed and you were able to do so, stimulate. It's a stimulus check to help stimulate your local economy.
Right.
And so we needed to get that message out.
Very important.
Think about that money and spending it in your local economy. So we got together as a council of chambers in Montgomery County and put out a video message that was just that. Just don't forget, if you're able to, please spend that money with your local businesses.
Sure.
Now more than ever. So that was important to get that message out, and it still is.
Absolutely.
It still is more than ever. So, and then we started transitioning into connecting people online. We were doing our networking events, our breakfast connections, our Thirsty Thursdays. We converted from doing a monthly luncheon to a mid-morning meetup.
Right.
At the beginning of the week, and started learning how to use that technology and doing breakout rooms for one-on-one networking or for groups of four. Just getting
so
to
you
learn
don't,
about.
So it's not so many you get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
but
you get to learn about each other's businesses, and if you're not the right fit for me as a customer right now, I might know somebody who is.
Right.
What's a good referral for you, right?
Sure,
and
absolutely.
So that networking component of what we do as a chamber even became more valuable.
Absolutely.
During this time, and those tools were available to allow us to do that.
Yeah, the software. You found the right software to make it happen. That was it.
And we tested some things
you're such a guru at this stuff.
That worked, and we tested some things that weren't as good. And but we were all willing to figure it out along the way, because at the end of the day, we all just want our businesses to survive and our families to survive, and find ways to economically support our worlds. And
Absolutely.
so that's what we moved forward. Over the summer, we kept on moving forward.
And actually had some events.
Yeah, connecting people. We just couldn't meet in person.
Right.
We weren't meeting in person. Everything was virtual, so we had to start planning. Because normally we would be doing our in-person events like the Loop or Principal for a Day. These signature events of our chamber that were no longer available, or our business expo. And that's where a new event arose that was not planned for 2020 and was nowhere on the radar at all, but we had to get creative. And so we found a platform that allowed us to put on an entire small business conference called BizFest 2020. And through that, and we started announcing it here on Radio KAir.
Sure did.
Through that platform, we were able to do something like you would do at a small business conference or expo, which is have keynote speakers on a main stage. Have breakout sessions that would help you work on your business and learn that educational component.
Oh, absolutely.
The networking component, the one-on-one networking components that were part of that platform were fun, and you made some really good connections.
Yeah, we still seen ripples from that. So that was very successful.
Very much so. And to top
and
it
that was
off,
virtual.
We had a virtual business expo, and people having their booths in there and being able to show off their business. And that the game we played that was part of that platform, that people earned points by visiting your booth, not just visiting it, but interacting with it, downloading your brochures, chatting with you, watching your videos. And it was fun to watch that leaderboard. People were battling each other because the winner, first place, got one of our platinum memberships, a $1,200 membership. And second place was our gold membership at $600, and then our silver at $300. And they were going at it.
I was amazed at how many points some of these people accrued. It was incredible. I did maybe 400 or 500 points, and I thought, man, I got this. I wasn't even close. I was in another room or something. I was in another.
This was
world.
A virtual event that was scheduled from 9 to 5. Who does a virtual event all day? And so people had planned their day. There's no way I'm going to hang around at a virtual event.
We hung
the whole day, and I heard that more and more. We couldn't leave. We just, there was just so much going on, and you wanted to be part of that. And so we're still, those breakout sessions, every week we're uploading a new one to our Facebook video page under the BizFest series, and you still can now have an opportunity to go see what you missed.
Wow, that's cool.
To this day. So BizFest continues to give even after that.
Absolutely. I don't know who came up with that idea. It must have been a genius. Thank you, Mark. That was a great team. It really worked well. Yeah, absolutely. So, but we did have at least one, in-person event, but it was outdoors, and it was called the Grand Prix. Now the first Grand Prix was last year.
It was scheduled for May. It's a May event for us. It's always the first Friday in May, and so we had to postpone it. and push it. So we rescheduled it to October.
To October, which was normally in October. We had the what was it?
A spooktacular.
The spooktacular
we
event.
launched
right.
some sort of. We needed something for the chamber to do for us as well as the membership in the fourth quarter, and so the spooktacular event arose from that, and so we just kind of replaced it. We pushed the Grand Prix back to it, and it turned out to be just as successful as last year's Grand Prix, even with less teams.
It was. I'm telling you, it was so much fun. We enjoyed that tremendously. Really did. We didn't drive. They took our driver's license. They said, it's an age thing. I get it.
But it's coming back quicker than you think, because it is a May event.
So fantastic.
So it will be May, the first Friday of May. We're going to have that Grand Prix event,
great.
Bigger and better than ever. So looking forward to promoting
absolutely.
that.
That's going to be a lot of fun. So that was last year or this year. 2020, we had the Grand Prix. We went forward with that. What else did we have?
Well, October was the month we started some in-person event again.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Yeah,
we did a Thirsty Thursdays.
Yeah, Sullivan's Automotive. Now just known as Sullivan's. They do it all.
Right.
From collision to auto repair on both sides to big rig. It's everywhere. Everyone knows them as Sullivan's, and Dad, Danny, and his son Michael now are part of that. And they said, you know what, we've got a new lobby that we would love for people to see. And they realized, the competition out there, when you've got these high-end dealerships, when you go to get an oil change, they treat you pretty nice now. You got a nice little lobby to sit back in and nice gourmet coffees. And they said, we're going to step up our game too. So it was an opportunity to show off what that looked like, and it was very spacious, and it was in October, and so they brought bratwurst and made it an October festish type event, and it was really it was nicely done, and we're really thankful for that. We also had our first Breakfast Connections at Pit Stop.
I was just thinking about
Diner
that, right?
up in New Caney, and Frankie over there. They weren't open for breakfast yet, which they now are. But they opened up early for us and made breakfast.
Tried that menu out on us.
Yeah, we were, and it worked out great.
Yeah, it really did.
So October was a really, really good month for some people to connect again who were comfortable doing so.
And so this is Frankie's second location,
yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah, his first is up in Livingston, up there. That people just I haven't been to that one yet, but
I haven't either.
Everyone raves about it.
Fantastic.
So
well, this one will be just as good, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so that takes us through October. Maybe I think we probably missed stuff. Actually, there was a lot that went on in the chamber, whether we realized
we kept
it or not.
the virtual components of that too.
Right.
We started doing some more ribbon cuttings
correct.
as well. So we added that there. We a little rewind a couple months, but we introduced a new way to check in on our members to see how they're doing. Right. And so we started doing a video series called Chamber Check-ins, and short little 3 to 5 minute conversations where we'd just say, "How you doing? We're checking in on you. Tell us about your business. How you doing through this?" And we got to learn about their businesses, where they're located, what they offer, how we could support them, and it was a way to connect with our membership and still connect them with everyone else at the same time. And we continue to do those now. Sometimes we'll actually go on location and do those. And Sherry was very uncomfortable at the very beginning of this, because I said, I don't want to be the one doing all the videos and being out there doing everything. Can you do these? And she's like, yeah.
But she's doing it. She's great.
She has embraced it. She has just a star. Is risen, right?
Right. It's just you had to grab her by the hair, pull her out of the water, and she's
And now we're doing some fun, little comedic segues, just to have fun with it. So it's not just about, people kind of want to see what's Sherry going to do next.
Right.
So that's what I want to know. What's Sherry going to do next?
Right. As her boss, you want to know what the heck she's going to do next.
It's fun because she goes, what should we do with this next one? And I'll say, I never know until we get there.
Yeah,
you got to see what you got to work with, and she is such a natural talent, but has a genuine concern and for the members.
Right.
And she's just such a great addition to the chamber, as well as all of our staff is.
Yeah.
That's what I love about our staff is we survived through all this, number one, and they really do care.
No, they really do. And poor Bobby. Bobby was locked into the office for months, and probably still locked, as far as I know. Bless her heart. She's y'all let her out at night.
A little secret.
So,
Bobby likes to go to the office.
oh, okay. She gets away from everything. Huh? Right.
Not gonna add. I don't know why. It's not mandatory. We have
Yeah.
not made that you have to go to the office. It's still a voluntary situation for our staff. We
Yeah.
do meet for our weekly staff meetings,
Mm-hmm.
but so much we've all learned that we can conduct business differently.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
because the building's still not open to the public, there's not people coming into the office in and out. So it's not, we don't need to be there all the
Right.
time. We found ways. So we took this opportunity as a chamber over those summer months
Right.
specifically. We upgraded our software systems,
Yeah, that's
our
right.
telephone systems, our internet systems.
Your billing system.
Yeah, it's so good now.
No, it really is.
yeah.
And y'all have done a great job at that.
But it made it, our website, we took all this time to prepare for the future.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It really is.
And
It really.
I've watched a lot of businesses do that, as a
Yeah,
matter of
it's
fact.
kind of, what do you call it? Reset,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Reset. So that's kind of cool. Now, speaking of Bobby Bodenhammer, though, she was the one that kind of created this $25 gift certificate thing.
So, Bobby last year goes, I really would like if we did something that helped others.
Mhm.
And she was right on. And I said, that's a great idea. We have members that's their primary purpose, is
Right.
to help others in need. So what can we do special that would help them? And she's like, well, what about a gift card drive? And I was like, that's perfect. Let's put that together. And that kicked off last year for the first time, and we got to distribute those, and we distribute them evenly amongst those members that fit that category.
Right.
And we did the same this year, and we did more this year. It grew.
Fantastic.
And I got to be honest, it really because of one member who made a difference at the very beginning, which was the Porters.
The Porter,
from
Warren Porter, the Porters from Porter.
Dream Vacations. He came to me before he even knew about this. He goes, "Does the chamber do any type of fundraising event?" And I said, "You're in luck. We've got our gift card drive coming up." And he goes, "Well, we want to kick it off with $250 worth," and it just set the tone.
They're just excellent people. Oh, yeah. Great guy.
So that the gift card drive will be something that will continue
I'm
each and every
glad.
year, and it'll be a part of what the chamber does.
Hey, you have Tyler. We haven't talked about Tyler. We talked about Sherry and how she stepped up. Bobby stepped up. Tyler has done an excellent job also. I think it was, it might have been at the beginning of this year or late last year, he got a new camera.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, he is just going crazy
He found
over
a
there.
new passion. It's fun to watch I'll call them the younger generation.
Right.
But Tyler's responsibilities with the chamber is as director of communications. Communications became more important than ever before. So getting information out back and forth, and this year we probably get more information than we've ever had now.
Yeah.
And so it's a little harder to pay attention to it, and you're probably a little selective on what you take your time to read and open. And
I read all of it.
I know, and that's I'm so thankful for that, Bob.
Oh,
you
you're
respond to each and every one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference.
You're such a liar. Anyhow.
So Tyler started enjoying taking photos of our lunches in our events, and he started getting better and better, and he started talking to other photographers about, well, how do I do it this way, or learning, and all of a sudden you've got this really great photographer now as part of our staff and part of the communications component. But Tyler came out of Lone Star College as a graphic designer.
Really?
Yeah. And so we always wanted to have really good graphic work for our printed posters and things that we do on our signature events, and that was a big part of that and why that was happening. But it developed into so much more, and this has been a great year of developmental growth for Tyler.
Yeah.
And glad to have him as part of the team.
And another great team member.
Yeah.
The chamber has, all of y'all, Mark, you, Bobby, Sherry, Tyler, y'all are all I really perfect for what you're doing. And you're really there for the community and helping out so much. And I know I've said that a lot, but I really appreciate you guys, really do. Y'all are incredible. All right, so where are we at?
You got us to the gift card drive, which means we're in December. So we're at the end of the year.
Yeah, we're at the end of the year.
We finally made it, Bob. We've made it to the end of the year, 2020. And so
if it'll
we
just
kind of
finish.
left out, I think, some events in November, but we did do a breakfast connections at Pinspiration.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot
and,
about that.
yeah,
And that went very well.
That went really well. And Whataburger donated the breakfast items.
Yeah.
So everybody had food.
And it was a variety of food.
Yeah, and people got to learn about this new business, Pinspiration, which was actually a pretty cool meeting place if you're holding any type of group function, team building, networking, along with crafts.
I'm amazed in the evenings when I'm headed home, late and all this stuff. I go by and I look, and there's always a lot of cars there. It's amazing. I think they're very busy.
It's a niche business. It's very different. It's not your typical. Well, I don't want to use the word typical. Paint and sip concept.
Right.
There's a that's a very popular type of business
Oh
out
yeah,
there too.
I have the canvas painting.
This one's very different.
Uh-huh.
Very different. And if you haven't had a chance to check them out, I encourage you to do so.
And they have a meeting room.
Yeah.
So you
they have a
can
VIP
So if
kinda-
you have a club or you want to have a social event or something, you can go to that. You can schedule that meeting room. I don't know what it costs, but it's a nominal fee, and you can have your event in there in privacy if that's the way you want it, and it's
through
wonderful.
the ribbon cutting and that breakfast that they booked.
You're right.
Business through that, so that was good.
That's fantastic.
Fountainwood did a Thirsty Thursday for us, outdoor under a
Yeah.
beautiful tent.
I forgot about that. That was excellent.
They hired one of our caterers, the Hometown Chef Catering Company, to pass hors d'oeuvres, and we had wine being served. It was just
It was
perfect
almost like we
outdoor-
were somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a great event for
it
November
was.
as well. Now we're back in December.
Okay.
And
It's funny how we forget all this stuff and then it comes to.
But we started promoting the gift card drive in November, so
Right.
that's
Okay. So that's how it worked out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how we got
So we
here.
stayed on calendar.
So the only
Okay.
in-person event we have done in December, because things kind of wind down in the chamber world in December. We just recently had our Thirsty Thursday at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they
That's right.
opened up kind of and closed. Well, they just made their bar area available to us, and it worked out really well.
I actually met some nice people that are not members of the chamber that were there, and got to visit with them, just make some connections. And of course, they were like, "What the heck's going on here?"
Right.
Because everyone was visiting and having a good time, and everyone practiced wearing a mask and all that. So it was
you do the best that you possibly can. We know if we're going to go out
right.
and participate in humanity.
All right.
You got to do what you can do.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank the crew over there for even giving us the opportunity. 'Cause we do have it's not our 150 attended luncheons, but we do have a small component that doesn't mind meeting in person. And so when there's opportunities to do that, and any of our members are willing to host that event, their house, their rules, we will follow them. We appreciate the opportunities.
Absolutely.
And we're looking forward to planning out 2021.
Yeah, and it was good to see a lot of the members that I haven't seen in almost a year now. So that was wonderful. We enjoyed that. So
I can't talk about our Chamber of Commerce without talking about MSED.
absolutely.
Without MSED support, they provide our office space. They have there's a generous grant that they provide us each
Right.
and every year to help us with our programs and do these things that we do to benefit the local business economy and our membership. And looking forward to 2021 on making that even bigger and better.
Right.
There are great things happening in East Montgomery County.
Absolutely.
Bigger things happening in East Montgomery County, and we've done shows on that, on why that's happening, but it's happening. And so 2021, we expect to be a really productive year.
Radio KAir. Visit us on the web at www.radiokair.com.